Moss with your on-point local weather.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
From the Bart Fireside Studio, the solution for keeping you warm this winter.
This is 107 The Point.
The Point.
This is The Point. Make thepointradio.com.
It's Friday night in South Carolina, and that means high school football across the Palmetto State. Welcome to the Founders Federal High School Scoreboard on the Sports Talk Media Network. We'll bring you scores and reports from every region of the state with expert analysis from David Shelton and interviews with coaches throughout the night. The High School Scoreboard is proudly brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax, you're with Founders. Now, from the Scoreboard Studios in Columbia, here's your host, Phil Kornblut.
And good evening, everybody. Welcome into the High School Football Scoreboard across the state here on the Sports Talk Media Network, our first playoff edition. Playoffs, we are into it, counting them down and heading towards the championship weekend in Orangeburg, coming up in the first weekend of December. Who will be with us then? We'll find out here in a few weeks as we work through the brackets and work our way towards the state championship weekend. Good to have you with us. Phil Kornblut here in Columbia with the plumber, Josh Cohen. David Shelton will be with us in just a little bit from down in the low country. So we got a lot of scores already to tell you about, and we're going to get to those here momentarily. And also, we have got folks lining up and ready to jump on board to tell us about their games, and we'll get to them here momentarily as well. Let's go ahead and give you the final scores that we have in thus far through the various classifications. First of all, in 5A Division I, in the upper state, Rock Hill beat Spring Valley 47-0. In the lower state, River Bluff 34, Cane Bay 13. 5A Division II, Upper State, Catawba Ridge 13, Fort Mill 3, Gaffney 28, Eastside 10. Lower State, Lugoff Elgin 42, Socastee 6. In 4A, in the Upper State, South Point 63, Beaufort 13. In the Lower State, on Thursday, South Florence beat Darlington 47-7. Hartsville defeated Crestwood 45-8. I'm afraid we're going to see a lot of these kind of scores tonight because the matchups are not particularly compelling. Let's give Hartsville another point. 46-8, that final score. In 3A, Powdersville 66, Carolina nothing. Crescent 52, Union County 14. Belton Honeypath 56, Palmetto 7. That's Upper State. Like I said, not compelling, most of these games. In 2A Upper State, Clinton 66, North Central 7. Chester 50, Blacksburg 6. Batesburg-Leesville 42, Eau Claire nothing. Strom-Thurmond 40, Chesterfield nothing. Let me subtract 10 from Clinton. 56-7. I can't read. 56-7, Clinton over North Central. In the lower state, Cheraw 17, Andrews 7, Timberland 46, Barnwell 8, and East Clarendon having a very fine year. Beat Lake Marion 14-0. 1A, Upper State, Abbeville 63, Great Falls nothing. Louisville 62, Whitmire nothing. Lamar 49, Calhoun Falls nothing. Carvers Bay 59, Allendale Fairfax nothing. You might ask, why play these games? I'll ask, why play these games? In Skeeza, 3A, Pinewood Prep 60, Northside Christian 13. In 2A, PD Academy 27, Orangeburg Prep nothing. All right, checking out some other scores as we look at our outlets that are posting scores up in the Rock Hill area. Let's see what we have here from WRHI that we haven't mentioned, or I might repeat myself, so bear with me. South Point 63, Beaufort 13. AC Flora 49, York 14. That's in the fourth quarter. Blythewood 42, Clover 23 in the fourth quarter. Greenville 42, Nation Ford 28 in the fourth quarter. These are all fourth quarter scores. Seneca 28, Lancaster 21. Chester 50, Blacksburg 6. Andrew Jackson 34, 96-15. Third quarter score, Strom Thurmond 49, Chesterfield nothing. A final, Sherraw 17, Andrews 7. Third quarter, Spartanburg 31, J.O. Mann 3. Third quarter, Malden 7, Boiling Springs 6. Fourth quarter, Hillcrest 28, Riverside 14. Fourth quarter, Fort Dorchester 17, Lexington 14. Final, River Bluff 24, Cane Bay 13. Fourth quarter, Somerville 65, West Ashley 21. Third quarter, James Island 42, Wando nothing. Fourth quarter, West Florence 35, Conway 7. Fourth quarter, Fountain Inn 44, Emerald 28. Final. This was a tight one. Daniel 14, Dreer 10. Dreer went to the upstate, put up a heck of a fight. Fourth quarter, Camden 32, Greer 6. Third quarter, Westside 28, Pickens 7. Fourth quarter, Newberry 48, Aner 14. Final, Clinton 56, North Central 7. Third quarter, Fairfield Central 30, Chesney 7. Final, Central 56, Kingstree 6. Fourth quarter, Hunter Connor Tyler 56, Lee Central 14. Final, Lamar 49, Calhoun Falls nothing. All right, let me check WSPA's scoreboard from up in Spartanburg. Final, Belton Honeypath 56, Palmetto 7. Final, Camden 38, Greer 20. So they had an updated score. Final, Chester 50, Blacksburg 6. Final, Crescent 52, Union County 14. In the fourth quarter, Wagner Sally 14, Dixie 3. In the fourth quarter, Fairfield Central 50, Chesney 21. Final, Lamar 49 and Calhoun Falls nothing. Fourth quarter, Boiling Springs 14, Malden 7. Yay! Finally found a close game, or one of two close games that we've seen so far. Fourth quarter, Southside Christian 48, Chapman 7. Fourth quarter, Spartanburg 45, Man 3. Final, Westside 49, Pickens 21. Final, Woodruff 49, West Oak 7. Fourth quarter, Wren 42, Blue Ridge 28. A final, Ware Shoals over Ridge Spring Monetta 38-0. A final, Seneca 28, Lancaster 21. It's a final, Powdersville 66, Carolina nothing. Here's a good one, fourth quarter, Mountain View Prep 27, St. Joseph's 21. Final, Liberty 35, Pillion 14. Fourth quarter, Hillcrest 28, Riverside 14. Fourth quarter update, Greenville 35, Nation Ford 28. That's a good one. Final, Emerald 44, Fountain Inn 36. 44-36, Emerald wins that one. A final, Christ Church 47, Walhalla 7. Another final, Pendleton 24, Broome 21. And a final, Andrew Jackson 34, 96-15. We'll continue to update the scores here over the next little bit. Got David Shelton on board here with us in just a couple of moments. Let's go ahead and start to get to some of our reporters who are outside of our studio, standing in their fields, doing a great job. We welcome in an old friend of Sports Talk, one-time intern, one-time producer, erstwhile reporter, great writer and storyteller, and a bunch of other things. Rickson Lane joining us here on the High School Scoreboard. I think you used to work on this show, my man. Welcome in.
Oh, first time in a long time, Phil. Good to talk to you.
You too, my friend. How are you?
Doing great. Doing about as well as the Dillon Wildcats are tonight.
Tell us about it.
Well, Phil, Dillon came into the playoffs not really wanting to get in one-score games. They were 0-3 in the regular season in one-score games this year. And unfortunately for Fox Creek, this was a one-score game for all of about 10 minutes as Dillon rolled 49-8 tonight. Dillon's ground game, incredibly effective, 210 yards and 4 touchdowns on about 11.5 yards per carry. They were methodical throughout the night. Kyle Samfong-Talia, their quarterback, 7 of 15 for 108 yards and 2 touchdowns. The story of the night really was this Dillon defense against a Fox Creek team that really wanted to come in and run the ball. Dillon just completely bottled up their run game, kept them off schedule all night. Fox Creek only managed 17 yards of offense in the first quarter. They didn't convert a third down while Dillon's first-string defense was on the field. I think their first third down conversion came late in the third quarter, and Kelvin Roller was able to sub in pretty freely in the second half. I think he had all of his defensive starters out in the second half, and so a lot of guys got some reps tonight in a playoff game. And as a former scrub backup linebacker, Phil, that's why we play these first-round games. Think of all those guys that got to play the playoff game tonight, Phil. That's the only reason I ever got to play the playoff game.
I hear you. I'm just tired of seeing all the zeros on my scoreboard, Shutout, shutout. Well, that's
and it looked like we're going to have another one tonight, too. Fox Creek has a running back, Bryson Crawford. I do want to shout him out. That young man carried the ball 32 of their 61 offensive plays tonight and found it really tough going in the first half. In the second half, though, he ran for 119 yards. He finished with 134 on 32 carries and a touchdown. So shout out to Bryson Crawford because he worked for every yard he got tonight for Fox Creek's offense.
All right, so Dillon rolls, and Dillon will play the winner of Silver Bluff and North Charleston, which I would expect to be Silver Bluff once we get the final on that. So we'll keep a watch out on that, and we thank you, and we hope to hear from you next week.
Appreciate it, Phil, and that is confirmed. Silver Bluff is won. It'll be Silver Bluff at Dillon next Friday.
That should be a good one. We'll look to hear from you. Thank you, my friend.
Appreciate it, sir.
Thank you. Okay, Rickson Lane does a great job. Great job. Appreciate that. We're going to run to the break and come back with more score updates for you and more reports. Monty Dutton's already ready to check in, so we'll hear from Monty as Clinton rolled tonight up in the upstate in the two-way playoffs. Big win. I bet you they rolled up some big yardage on the ground, so we'll hear from Monty. Got more reporters will be rolling in. David Shelton will be hooking up with us as well. So don't leave us. We got a long way to go this first Friday night of the playoffs all across the state of South Carolina here on the Sports Talk Media Network.
In Columbia, South Carolina, game days are our specialty. Whether you're watching the game from inside the stadium or from the big screen at your favorite local spot, the energy remains the same. Craft the perfect fall Saturday in a city where there is plenty of action on and off the field. From tubing and kayaking to Soda City to rooftop restaurants and plenty barbecue. We're ready when you are. Plan your weekend at experiencecolumbiasc.com.
Shop for the holidays smarter this year with Founders Federal Credit Union. Now through December 31st, take advantage of 5.99% APR on select purchases made with your Founders credit card. Spread more holiday cheer this year without breaking your budget. Visit foundersfcu.com/cc for more information. Membership qualification required. Promotional rate ends July 1st, 2026. Effective APR of 13.00 to 17.90% will apply. See website for details.
South Carolina's taste buds have spoken, and they're asking for beef. There are more than 7,800 farms raising cattle from pasture to plate in the Palmetto State. So whether it's steaks on the grill before the big game, sirloin medallions plated for date night, or burgers with a family, make sure beef is a part of your playbook this football season. Smoked, grilled, and slow roasted. Find the best way to enjoy your beef at scattle.org. Beef. It's what's for dinner in South Carolina. funded by the South Carolina Beef Council, part of the Beef Checkoff program. Touchstone Energy Cooperative members save more on electricity, and members save more on insurance, groceries, healthcare, restaurants, travel, concerts, and sporting events through Co-op Connections. Touchstone Energy is an alliance of the member-owned electric cooperatives, and as a member, the power is yours. Experience the power of co-op membership with Touchstone Energy and find out how much you can save on electricity and a whole lot more at touchstoneenergy.com.
Welcome back, everybody. High School Scoreboard brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. All across the state of South Carolina. First night of the playoffs. Let's give you some more finals. Newberry 54, Ainer 14. Timberland 46, Barnwell 8. Gray Collegiate 63, Brooklyn Casey 7. River Bluff 24, Cane Bay 13. Hartsville 45, Crestwood 8. Greenwood Christian 31, Dillon Christian 7. That's Skeeza playoffs. Camden over Greer 38-20. Skeeza playoffs, Heathwood Hall 48, Ben Lippen 14. Fort Dorchester has defeated Lexington 24-21. Bishop England 24, Lower Richland 7. Marlboro County 49, Swansea 13. Pinewood Prep over Northside Christian, 50-13, Skeeza. PD Academy 27, Orangeburg Prep, nothing, Skeeza. Liberty 35, Pillion 14. These are all finals. Westwood 41, St. James 14, Skeeza. Bethesda 46, Thomas Sumter 6. AC Flora 49, York 34. And let's give you a few more finals. 5A playoffs, West Florence 42, Conway 7. Told you that Lugoff Elgin beat Socastee 42-6. Lucy Beckham over North Myrtle Beach 38-21. All right, let's see. In the 3As, Loris 59, Battery Creek 19. Just heard, Dillon 49, Fox Creek 8. In the 2As, East Clarendon 14, Lake Marion nothing. Atlantic Collegiate 14, Woodland nothing. Cheraw 17, Andrews 7. In the 1As, Carvers Bay 59, Allendale Fairfax nothing. Lamar 49, Calhoun Falls nothing. Lakeview 28, Hardyville 6. And ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct pleasure to report Latta 34, Baptist Hill 14. Nothing personal against Baptist Hill. I love the Baptist and I love Hills. But give me Latta over Baptist Hill 34-14. And see if we have anything else here. That'll do it. That'll do it for now. So with that, let's go to Monty Dutton covering Clinton. Once again, Red Devils, can they get back and go back-to-back? Back-to-back. Have they gone back-to-back in state championships before?
No, they won in 85 and 87, and Slay, you taught me, but I can't. No, they haven't. They've won 4 times in 7 years, but yes, they did. 77-78.
Okay.
77-78 were the only times Clinton's won back-to-back. However, I was a little bit, I wasn't exactly Nostradamus on this game because Clinton and North Central were both 7-3. And, the North Central, obviously, the Region 4 had 4 teams with pretty good records. And, of course, I knew that Clinton had played a tougher schedule, but it wasn't much of a contest. I always, if you're not going to have a close game, I just prefer that the clock run the whole second half. It was 42-0 at halftime, and North Central scored a touchdown with 1:23 left to go in the game. But as you would expect, Clinton made the best of its precious time on the clock. Red Devils rushed for 335 yards. More balanced attack than usual. Javen Cook had 115 yards and went over 1,500 for the year, but they had 3 other backs with more than 40 yards. And quarterback Owen Glenn tossed a touchdown pass and ran 50 yards for another one. So it was Clinton utterly dominated the game. And I thought about this because I've had this happen, and I feel for the people from Kershaw because it's tough to go all the way to Clinton and you get beat 56-7. That's a lonely ride home. So I feel some compassion. But I think there's 2 things for Clinton. Number one, they had 3 important players who have been out of action for the majority of the season, who were back and played very well tonight. They also they played in the fourth quarter. Clinton scored a couple of second-half touchdowns with mainly JVs on the field, so that bodes well for the future. But anyway, there wasn't a whole as I said, Clinton's now 8-3. They have scored at least 48 points in their last 6 games. So the Red Devils are peaking at the right time, and I believe that they play. The last I heard, Saluda was beating Mid-Carolina, so I'm assuming that Saluda will come to Wilder Stadium next.
Monty, we appreciate it. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you next week. Red Devils continue to roll. We thank you, sir.
Always my pleasure, Phil.
Pleasure's ours. Thank you, Monty. One of the best ever, Monty Dutton. Let's go to Hugh Gray. Newberry continues to roll as well as the Bulldogs having a fantastic year. And Hugh, welcome into the Scoreboard. Give us a story on Newberry tonight, please. Hugh, are you with us, sir? Nope. We might be dealing with some cell issues there. Hello, Hugh. All right, let's put Hugh on hold, and we'll come back. Hang on, Hugh. We'll come back to you. Let's go to Garrett Mitchell with Woodruff. Another big win tonight for the Wolverines. No trouble in their opening round playoff game. Welcome, sir.
Phil, how are you doing this evening?
Good, sir. How about you?
Well, we're doing pretty good in Woodruff, too. Wolverines took it tonight 49-7 over West Oak. Kind of used the game tonight to get the passing game going. It had been a little bit out of sync the last 2 or 3 games of the year, but a great job tonight by junior quarterback Connor Davis. Had 4 touchdown passes. Woodruff's north-south receiver Corey Moats was able to work back into the offense a little bit more. He had missed a month earlier in the year due to an injury and kind of had a re-breakout game tonight, over 100 yards receiving. Got a lot of guys in the game tonight. 4 touchdown passes for Davis. Had a couple more on the ground. So it was kind of a good night to get everything working, going into the second round once competition ratchets up a little bit.
Very good. Tell us a little bit more about Davis in about 40 seconds. Young guy kind of coming into his own here as the playoffs get rolling?
Yeah, Connor's been really good all season long. He's a first-year starter. He's a junior, and he's a big quarterback for anybody that's never seen him play. He's 6'3", 220 pounds, and is not afraid. He'll lower his shoulder and run over you when he pulls. He's really good at pulling the ball. But he's also got a big, big arm, and when he's locked in, he can sling it about 60 in the air. It's just kind of a matter sometimes what we like to say, he throws it almost too hard all the time and has to learn to put a little bit of touch on it. But he's had a great season so far. I think with his 4 touchdowns tonight, he's up to 27 touchdowns and 4 interceptions on the season.
That's a heck of a season.
Yeah, indeed. And he went over 2,000 yards passing tonight, probably right around 2,300 yards passing now.
All right. And you're going to get I think it's Christ Church. I have to double-check my scores. I think you'll get Christ Church next week.
Yes, that is correct. Christ Church comes to Woodruff. It's a game between 2 teams that have never played each other before in a real game. We did play them in a jamboree this year in August, but we've never played them in a real game.
That's awesome. Two teams that have a lot of hardware in the trophy case, for sure. Garrett, thank you. Have a great weekend. I'm sure the chain crew was outstanding as well, so we congratulate you on that. And we'll talk to you next week.
Sounds like a winner.
All right, Garrett Mitchell covering Woodruff. The Wolverines, they roll, and we'll be back after the break.
Hello, this is Stacy Huff, host of Huff Nation Sports Zone, each and every Saturday, 10 to 11 a.m. right here on 100.7 FM, The Point, and also 1470 a.m. It'll be a fun trip around the world of sports. Huff Nation Sports Zone, check it out.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-380-4452. 800-380-4452. That's 800-380-4452.
Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Answering the call. Running in when everything you feel says run out. Pushing yourself beyond your known limits to help. Living to tell the story. Visit scvolunteerfire.org.
Airlines have mostly stayed on schedule while gradually cutting flights because of the government shutdown. At least 1,000 flights were called off Friday as airlines comply with the FAA's order to reduce service. This is SRN News.
Newsmax, you like Newsmax. I like it too. Newsmax has been terrific.
President Trump is right. Millions like you are tuning into Newsmax. You're watching Newsmax on cable. You're going to our streaming channel, Newsmax 2. And you're downloading our free Newsmax app on your smartphones and TVs. Reuters Institute says we're now one of the top news brands in the nation. Every night, watch great shows with Rob Schmidt, Carl Higbee, Rob Finnerty, and more as they expose the big media lies, the Washington swamp, and they're never afraid to talk about faith, freedom, and the values that made us great. Find out why Newsmax is the fastest growing news channel in America. Make the switch today and join our news revolution.
Hi, I'm Tazima. Join me every Saturday at 11 a.m. for Small Business Saturday. We'll celebrate business owners in our community while learning their stories of success and failure. It's Small Business Saturday right here at 100.7 The Point.
Do you crave growth for your business? That's where The Point comes in. Fran Halloran here. Kevin Cohen and the other local hosts like me have worked to create a space where listeners transform into family. Are you a local business aiming for the stars? You need to get with Kevin and let him help create an individualized blueprint for your growth using the influential stage of The Point Radio. Reach out directly at 563-8558. Teaming with The Point, make this year extraordinary.
At Palmetto State Armory, we offer the largest selection of guns and ammunition at unbeatable prices. Our knowledgeable and friendly staff are here to provide personalized assistance, ensuring you find exactly what you need. If you enjoy outdoor activities like hunting, camping, or hiking, our clothing and outdoor gear collection has got you covered. We also feature an exceptional indoor range facility where you can experience the thrill of shooting in a safe and controlled environment. Visit us today at PalmettoStateArmory.com or your local retail store. Palmetto State Armory, American-made for life.
Hey, this is Ray.
And Mary Ann with Absolute Glass.
And we're happy to have been voted Lexington's best glass store for 15 years in a row.
Many drivers are unaware that your cracked windshields can be replaced, usually at absolutely no cost to you.
If all the high-end car dealerships in town can trust us to do their glass needs, so can you.
We service the Midlands, both at our shop in Lexington, but we are also happy to come to you at home or work.
Find us online at AbsoluteGlassInc.com.
And remember, if you can see through it, we can do it.
It's that time of year where our focus turns toward the holidays. For many, it's been a tough year, but now the holidays are coming. It's not about the gifts you get. It's about the gifts we've already been given. This is the time of year we show compassion for those who are in need in our own backyard and overseas too. It's also a time of the year that we should be grateful that we absolutely live in the greatest country in the history of this world. At Bergen Roofing, every one of their employees truly believes in doing their best at the office and at home. Stuart Bergen leads by example, and trust me, we're close friends, I can attest to it. So this holiday season, season, while many others are finding their inner Grinch, please take the opportunity to just do better. Be a better husband or wife, a better brother or sister, son or daughter, or even a better friend. Just be better to one another. Maybe your actions will inspire someone else to do the same. We all share the same air, so why not share the same holiday spirit? And while you're at it, please hug the ones you love a little tighter this holiday season. These are just some of the reasons that Bergen Roofing has been known as your neighborhood roofer. Happy holidays from the whole team at Bergen Roofing.
And we welcome you back into the High School Football Scoreboard, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Phil Kornblut, Josh Cohen from our studios in Columbia. Back to reporters in a moment. If you're just joining us, let's bring you up to date on the finals. In 5A, Upper State, Boiling Springs 16, Malden 14, Rock Hill 47, Spring Valley nothing, Spartanburg 45, J.O. Mann 3, Blythewood 42, Clover 23. In the lower state, Fort Dorchester defeated Lexington, and Somerville beat West Ashley. We have to post those scores. James Island 48, Wando nothing, River Bluff 24, Cane Bay 13. Division 2, everything is posted here. Catawba Ridge 13, Fort Mill 3, Upper State, Gaffney 28, Eastside 10, Hillcrest 36, Riverside 14. Maybe the game of the night, Greenville 42, Nation Ford 35. Remember, Greenville lost their game last week after going ahead with 4 seconds to go, and then the kickoff return was taken back for a touchdown. They lose that game. They bounce back tonight, winning a tight one, 42-35. In the lower state, Lugoff Elgin 42, Socastee 6, Lucy Beckham 38, North Myrtle 21, West Florence 42, Conway 7, Westwood 41, St. James 14. 4A, Upper State, South Point 63, Beaufort 13, AC Flora 49, York 14, Seneca 28, Lancaster 21, Camden 38, Greer 20, Lower State, South Florence 47, Darlington 7, Hartsville 45, Crestwood 8. 3A, Powdersville 66, Carolina nothing, Pendleton 24, Broome 21, Crescent 52, Union County 14, Belton Honeypath 56, Palmetto 7, Christchurch 47, Walhalla 7, Woodruff 49, West Oak 7, Lower State, Dillon 49, Fox Creek 8, Loris 50, Battery Creek 19. In 2A, Clinton 56, North Central 7, Andrew Jackson 34, 96-15, Chester 50, Blacksburg 6, Batesburg Leesville 42, Eau Claire nothing, Strom Thurmond 40, Chesterfield nothing, Lower State, Cheraw 17, Andrews 7, Timberland 46, Barnwell 8, East Clarendon 14, Lake Marion nothing, Atlantic Collegiate 14, Woodland nothing. 1A, Abbeville 63, Great Falls nothing, Louisville 62, Whitmire nothing, Lamar 49, Calhoun Falls nothing. Lower State, Carvers Bay 59, Allendale Fairfax nothing, Lakeview 28, Hardyville 6, Latta 34, Baptist Hill 14. Skeeza 2A, Pinewood Prep 60, Northside Christian 13, PD Academy, this is 1A. Back it up. That was 2A. That was 3A, and this is 2A. Pinewood Prep over Northside Christian in 3A, 60-13. 2A, PD Academy 27, Orangeburg Prep nothing, Greenwood Christian 31, Dillon Christian 7. And we've got more finals we'll be getting to. We're in the process of getting those plotted on our sheets, and we'll get those to you here momentarily. Get an update. Let's see if we have anything more here. That Lexington Did I say Fort D beat Lexington? Let's see. I'm looking here down in Charleston on the Channel 4 website out of Charleston, making doubly sure I got the right date and the right games, November 7, 2025. They're showing Lexington beat Fort Dorchester 21-14. Did we not see that the other way around earlier? I thought we did. Have to double check that. Somerville won over West Ashley 65-21. Oceanside 49, Georgetown 15. Kudos to Georgetown, a winless team. They scored 15. Let's see. Skeeza, Pinewood Prep 60, Northside Christian 13. Colleton Prep 44, Lee Academy 28. High School League, Timberland 46, Barnwell 8, River Bluff 24, Cane Bay 13. Hanahan 38, Waccamaw 21. Okay. Let's go back to our reporters. Appreciate everybody hanging on. And Hugh Gray, is it Hugh now? We have Hugh with the story on the Newberry Bulldogs tonight. Newberry having a great year. How'd they do against Aner? Welcome in, Hugh. How are you? Hello, Hugh. Hugh. Okay, let's try. Let's put Hugh back on hold.
It's something with our phone system, so he's talking right now, and we just can't hear him.
Okay, let's put him back on hold. Let's try. We'll try Chris Deering, River Bluff. There goes Chris. Maybe it's that line. Maybe that line's a bad line. Chris Deering, River Bluff. Welcome in, sir.
How you doing, sir? Can y'all hear me?
You're coming through clearly.
Very nice. It was a nice night for the homestanding River Bluff Gators. They get a 24-13 win over Cane Bay. Darius Carter is the story of this game. The junior wide receiver with several college offers already. I had him unofficially for 6 catches at 167 yards and 3 touchdowns. He basically was having his way with the Cane Bay secondary. He scored twice in the first half, 2 touchdown passes from Braden Moore. Braden Moore got injured in the first drive of the second half, so they brought in the freshman who has played a good bit this year for Dutch Fork, and Davis is his last name, and he threw a touchdown pass, a 47-yard touchdown pass to Carter. So really a good performance all the way around by the Gators. They played against a Cane Bay team that has an unorthodox offense, the triple option that you don't, it's hard to practice against that because you don't see it that often.
Mm-hmm.
But kudos to that defense. They gave up a 15-play, 80-yard drive to open the game, and they pretty much clamped down after that and played really well. The whole Cane Bay to 13 points I thought was a really good outing for that Gators defense. And now they get to go on the road next week. They get to go down to the Low Country and play Stratford. That's going to be, I think, a really good matchup. Terry Parks, in his first year at River Bluff, he's got some guys. They're young and they're still learning, but I think he's got a pretty decent team to be so young.
Yeah, he's an excellent coach. Obviously, been a collegiate coach, now back at the high school level. What do you like about the things he's put together with this team this year?
I mean, they're pretty equal passing and running. Hayden Myers, he was over 100 yards tonight. Last week he had 300 yards and 4 touchdowns against Lexington. So they can beat you in a number of ways. Like I said, Darius Carter is one of the best receivers in the state that probably nobody's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
He had a really good game. And defensively, he's starting a freshman in the secondary. They got a bunch of sophomores starting. So, again, a really young team. He told me after the game they had 35 seniors last year. So he had to sort of rebuild. This year they only have 12, so he have a lot of guys coming back next year. And, like you said, he's a good coach, and I think he's going to get that River Bluff program as one of the best in the state very soon.
I know you're connected. What score are you getting on Fort Dorchester, Lexington? I've seen we've got 24-21 Fort D, then I've seen 21-14 Lexington. Did you run across a final you feel good about?
Well, I will tell you, I don't know what you guys are experiencing. My Twitter is down, but I did see 24-21 Fort D.
Okay. Well, that's 2. Maybe we'll go with the majority, but we'll keep looking. So you got 24-21 Fort D over Lexington.
Yes, that's what I saw.
All right.
And again, but my Twitter's been down for about 25 minutes, so who knows what happened.
Well, they just Tesla just gave what's-his-face, what was it, $1 billion or something? Or he was going to leave. So
I think it was $1 trillion.
$1 trillion. So maybe, he took the night off watching Twitter, and he turned off the Twitter button for the night. So
it must be something, or it's just me, one of the two. I can't figure it out which it is just yet.
All right, my friend, thank you. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, thank you. Y'all have a good.
You too, thank you. All right, Chris Deering, story on River Bluff. River Bluff up and coming. Because Perry Park's an excellent coach, no doubt about it, and good win for them. Always good when you get a playoff victory. Let's hit the break and see if we can get our friend Hugh on board with us here so we can get the story on Newberry tonight. And then more calls to come in from reporters around the state, and we'll update the scores. We'll continue to update the scores for you. We'll update those brackets as well as we move on through the night. Once we get all the final scores in, we'll have the bracket set for next week. We'll run through all of that for you as well. So stay with us. Just getting rolling here on the High School Scoreboard, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Be right back.
Your home is where your memories live. It's where you laugh and where you love. We understand the importance of the valuables under your roof, tangible and intangible alike. So no matter what's around the corner, we'll be there, offering you and your family the support that's made Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for nearly 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise. Learn more at scfbins.com.
Call me, Alex Satterfield, at 803-749-9171 for all of your Midlands insurance needs.
You work hard for your money. Shouldn't your money work hard for you too? Think about all the hours you've put in, the late nights, the early mornings, the dedication to your craft. Now imagine those dollars doing some of the heavy lifting for a change, growing quietly in the background while you focus on what matters most. Whether you're saving for a dream vacation, a new home, or just building a cushion for peace of mind, putting your money to work is one of the smartest moves you can make. Open a certificate at Founders Federal Credit Union and earn more with your savings. For a limited time only, Founders is offering 18-month certificates at 4.32% annual percentage yield and 18-month IRA certificates at 4.58% annual percentage yield. To get started, visit foundersfcu.com/dividend rates or one of our many convenient office locations. All you need is $500 to get started, but don't delay. These rates won't last. Open your certificate today. Your future self will thank you for opening a certificate at Founders. Federally insured by the NCUA. Membership qualification required. $500 minimum balance. 18-month term. Dividends compound quarterly. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Call Lawyer Lisa. Experience the difference with Lawyer Lisa.
Hi, I'm Lisa Hosteller Brown. Did you know your will is designed for your assets to pass through the probate court? If you want to keep your loved ones out of court, a revocable trust is a great place to start. Visit lawyerlisa.com for more information and to see how we can help.
Call Lawyer Lisa. Experience the difference with Lawyer Lisa.
7511 St. Andrews Road, Irmo, South Carolina.
Straight Up Sports is simply all sports, all the time. Straight Up Sports is a collection of retired and award-winning sports writers and sports broadcasters from around South Carolina. Like Bob Gillespie from the State Newspaper, Scott Kiefer from the Greenville News, and Mark Sturgis from ESPN Upstate. Straight Up Sports is about the stories, just like the days gone by with no editors nor managers involved. Check us out on Facebook or Twitter or online at straightupsports.net.
All right, we're back on the high school football scoreboard. Let's welcome in David Shelton now with us. First time tonight on this first playoff edition of the high school football scoreboard. David, welcome in. How are you?
Doing good. How are you?
Sounding good, man. Sounding good. Way to come through. All right. Well, we thought there were going to be a lot of blowouts. Obviously, there have been. But we've had a couple of very close, exciting games. I would say that Nation Ford Greenville High game was a pretty good ball game tonight.
Yeah, who won?
That would be Greenville.
Oh, wow. Yeah, well, we said on Sports Talk, we felt like that would be a decent football game. There's two evenly matched teams, and Greenville got off to a great start, kind of struggled late, but they got some players. So tough out for Bentley in his first playoff game, but I think he's doing a good job at Nation Ford.
Yeah, I was going to ask you your thoughts on that. What kind of progress do you think they made in his first year?
Oh, I think they made progress. I think he's got a really good offensive game plan, offensive mind. I think they've got some players that were underclassmen that are skilled people. They're going to throw it around a bunch next year. And I think that's, obviously, you look at what Northwestern's done under Paige Walker, they throw it around a lot, and that usually leads to success because it's hard to cover guys.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Got a few more finals just came in here that we are running across. I just saw the final here that I just put down. It was Gilbert beating Bluffton tonight, 38-21, so that one's gone final. And let's see, which else did I just post up here? Seneca beat Lancaster 28-21 in the upstate. This is in 4A. We'll give you more finals and go through everything in just a few minutes. Now let's go to Hugh Gray with that story on the Newberry-Ainer game tonight. Bulldogs and Blue Jackets. What you got for us, Hugh?
Hey, Phil. Good to be with you. Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Tell you what, got to give a big hand to Ainer tonight. The Blue Jackets came in, and they had a game plan, and they were going to execute. Newberry wins the opening toss, elects to receive. Ainer kicks the ball onside, kickoff onside, and Newberry can't recover it. Newberry was kind of expecting it, but couldn't recover it. Ainer gets the ball in Newberry territory. There are a couple of turnovers, offsetting turnovers, so to speak, and then Ainer drives in. Luke McCracken takes it in for a 6-0 lead for Ainer. And the next kickoff, again, onside, but this time Newberry collects it on the 50 and is able to score. Ken Caldwell hits Jamari Crooks for a 22-yard pass on 4th and 16, and it's 7-6 Newberry. When Ainer gets the ball back, they drive 80 yards on 10 plays and score on a 27-yard run, again by Luke McCracken. And it's 14-7 with 9 minutes to go in the first half. Newberry recovers the onside kick again, is able to score to tie it up. And Newberry scores again later in the quarter to make it 21-14. And with about a minute and a half to go in the half, Julian Sin for the Bulldogs strips the runner for Ainer, recovers the ball on the Ainer 29, and the Bulldogs are able to put it in and go into half with a 28-14 lead. Now, Ainer had 91 yards of offense in the first quarter, but the Bulldogs able to make some adjustments, put some people in different places, and shut that offense down. After the first quarter, Ainer ends up with 167 yards total. So that's just about, 70 or so, 75 or so yards, second, third, and fourth quarters. Newberry puts up 4 touchdowns in the second half. Coach Jeter getting a lot of different guys to play, but after the game, Coach was real complimentary of Ainer and the fight they brought to the game tonight. And the final score does not indicate how close that game was in the first half.
What was that final once again?
54-14.
54-4. How many onside kicks did you see?
The first 3 for Ainer. The first 3 kickoffs for Ainer were onside.
They weren't going to go very unconventional against you guys, I guess.
They did. And that offense is a variation of the wing T, and they have 3 or 4 running backs surrounding a quarterback. I guess it would be 3 running backs with the quarterback in the backfield, but real tight together, and you just don't know who the ball goes to because they'll direct snap it to one of the running backs or one of the up backs, and next thing you know, he's 5 yards, 10 yards downfield, and you're thinking the ball's out around the end with the quarterback. So if you're a fan of Manor, it's really fun to watch. If you're a fan of the other team, it's scary.
I can understand. And you guys get Hanahan next week, correct?
That's right. That's what I believe. The last I heard, Hanahan was up on Waccamaw, so we will start preparing for them for that game next week.
Yeah, we can tell you Hanahan won that game 38-21. 38-21.
Okay.
Okay, Hugh.
All right.
Thank you, pal.
All right. Thank you, Phil.
Talk to you next week. Glad to get you on board with us. Okay, Hugh Gray. All right, David Newberry. Big over Aner. How about all the onside kicks? You ever heard of anything like that so early in a game?
Well, when you're heavy underdogs, you try whatever you can do, and you don't want to kick it deep to those athletes at Newberry, so you try it, and, you're probably not going to succeed, but, you got to do something because if you just try to play straight-up football, Newberry's going to beat you anyway. So, but Newberry, the lower state is loaded. I mean, when you got Oceanside, Dillon, Loris, and Newberry all in the lower state, there will be some really good teams in the lower state that are not going to advance.
Well, Newberry's having one of those special years. They've been so good all season long, and we'll see if they can keep it rolling. Let's give you some more finals. May River and Wilson. Wilson beats May River. This is in 4A. Wilson over May River, 36-28. I'm trying to pick up some scores that we haven't mentioned yet. That was one of them. Loris beat Battery Creek, 59-29. Marlboro County beat Swansea, 49-13. And still looking for Lake City and Hampton County. Atlantic Collegiate beat Woodland, 14-0. East Clarendon over Lake Marion, 14-0. Carvers Bay, 59. Allendale Fairfax, nothing. This is 1A. Johnsonville, 48. Branchville, 14. Scotts Branch beats Hannah Pamplico, 32-14. Lakeview over Hardyville, 28-6. Latta, 34. Baptist Hill, 14. Lamar, 49. Calhoun Falls, nothing. In Skeeza, Greenwood Christian, 31. Dillon Christian, 7. PD Academy, 27. Orangeburg Prep, nothing. So those are some scores from around the PD Grand Strand area in the playoffs. So, David, looking at some of these scores I just mentioned, and you haven't talked about Dillon yet, haven't had a chance for you to talk about Dillon. They took care of Fox Creek, and you mentioned Dillon a moment ago, and they got a young quarterback, that little 9th grader, who's got a long name and apparently a big arm. What do you know about him?
Yeah, he's not a little 9th grader. He's 6'1", 6'2", 190 pounds, and throws a really nice ball. I mean, just really spins it well. He is a guy. I mean, if you're playing as a freshman at Dillon High School, you must be pretty talented, and he's going to be a player to watch over the next couple of years. I know the way you follow recruiting, you're gonna hear about him.
Well, he's making visits already. He'll be at Clemson tomorrow. I mean, we remember a guy named Avery McCall who started as a 9th grader there. Now, I mean, he was super special. I'm not putting this young man in that category yet. Are you?
No, I think a lot of Dillon fans might. But you got to earn it. You got to earn your stripes. And Avery was a special talent. Didn't do much after high school, but Avery was not as big and strong as this kid is. He's got the potential to be, in that 6'3", 200-pound range by the time he's done, and that's going to get him recruited, especially with his arm.
Mm-hmm. All right, you can be the deciding factor here. We've seen scores, 2 different scores, Lexington and Fort D, and the last one we had Fort D winning 24-10 24-21, I think it was. Have you heard of final down there?
No, I haven't, but I'll check a few things.
I've confirmed it 3 different places that is the correct
24-21?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And
it wouldn't surprise me. I thought that game was going to be close.
Yeah, 24-21. I wonder if we're getting a hot call tonight. Are we getting a hot call tonight? Where's our hot caller? At a Waffle House somewhere. All right, top of the hour, David. Don't go away. We'll be back. More calls, more scores. Be right back.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
From the Bart Fireside Studio, the solution for keeping you warm this winter.
This is 107 The Point.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Ron Taylor. The Supreme Court has granted the Trump administration's emergency appeal to temporarily block a court order to fully fund SNAP food aid payments amid the government shutdown. A judge had given the administration until Friday to make the payments through the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, but the administration asked an appeals court to suspend any court orders requiring it to spend more money than's available in a contingency fund. There is a deal by the Democrats to break the stalemate over the government shutdown.
Democrats would like to see an end to this shutdown, and we want to respect Leader Thune's desire not to negotiate on ACA until after the government reopens.
The major issue blocking the reopening is the push to extend tax credits from the Affordable Care Act.
Leader Thune just needs to add a clean 1-year extension of the ACA tax credits to the CR so that we can immediately address rising health care costs.
Democrats are also proposing establishment of a bipartisan committee to address Republican demands for changes to the Affordable Care Act. Ed Donahue, Washington.
With flights around the country cut by 10% because of the government shutdown, travelers are getting creative.
Disruptions are causing some to hit the road or buy a train ticket. That's going to mean more business for car rentals, long-haul bus operations, and commuter rails like Amtrak, particularly if flight delays and cancellations continue piling up as the U.S. approaches Thanksgiving and other peak holiday travel. Hertz is already reporting a sharp increase in one-way car rentals. One-way reservations have spiked more than 20% through the coming weekend compared with the same period last year.
Correspondent Bill Alexander. Florida's Attorney General has filed a lawsuit against Planned Parenthood, claiming the organization is misrepresenting the safety of abortion pills. It's the latest challenge aimed at abortion pills. News and analysis at townhall.com.
Newsmax, you like Newsmax. I like it too. Newsmax has been terrific.
President Trump is right. Millions like you are tuning into Newsmax. You're watching Newsmax on cable. You're going to our streaming channel, Newsmax 2. And you're downloading our free Newsmax app on your smartphones and TVs. Reuters Institute says we're now one of the top news brands in the nation. Every night, watch great shows with Rob Schmidt, Carl Higbie, Rob Finnerty, and more as they expose the big media lies, the Washington swamp, and they're never afraid to talk about faith, freedom, and the values that made us great. Find out why Newsmax is the fastest-growing news channel in America. Make the switch today and join our news revolution. Get Newsmax on cable, on streaming, and download the free app today. It takes just seconds to start. Let President Trump know you stand with Newsmax. It's for real news, for real people. Make the switch today.
President Trump's search for new economic partners means big bucks for an aerospace giant.
Boeing has finalized an order for 8 of its 787 Dreamliners with Uzbekistan Airways. The deal is part of a broader series of agreements brokered by the Trump administration to strengthen ties in the region and counter China's influence. Uzbekistan, one of several Central Asian countries from which the president hopes to buy more in the way of rare earth minerals. Bob Agnew reporting.
President Trump has pardoned former New York Mets star Darryl Strawberry on past tax evasion and drug charges. Strawberry, an 8-time All-Star, struggled with legal and personal issues after his baseball career. He pleaded guilty to tax evasion in 1995 and went to prison on drug-related charges. A White House official said the president approved the pardon, highlighting Strawberry's Christian faith and longtime post-career sobriety. Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com.
Want to hear my success story? I'm Fran Halloran, the money coach. I'm celebrating a decade of partnering with The Point. It's one of the best decisions I ever made. I've used The Point to significantly grow my small business. It started with a meeting with Kevin Cohen. Do you own a small business? Are you on a limited budget? No problem. Reach out to Kev at 563-8558. Get a customized plan and start your journey to business growth with The Point today. Success is one call away. Take the leap.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
From the Bart Fireside Studio, the solution for keeping you warm this winter.
This is 107 The Point. This is The Point. Make thepointradio.com.
It's Friday night in South Carolina, and that means high school football across the Palmetto State. Welcome to the Founders Federal High School Scoreboard on the Sports Talk Media Network. We'll bring you scores and reports from every region of the state with expert analysis from David Shelton and interviews with coaches throughout the night. The High School Scoreboard is proudly brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax, you're with Founders. Now, from the Scoreboard Studios in Columbia, here's your host, Phil Kornblut.
And we continue on this Friday edition of the High School Football Scoreboard. The playoffs underway across the state of South Carolina. Great to have you on board with us, wherever you are dialed in with us or watching on one of our streams. Phil Kornblut, Josh Cohen here, David Shelton from his studios down in Charleston. We'll go through all the scores here momentarily. Got pretty much everything in high school league action. And got a little bit of work to do in Skeeza, but we're working on it. Let's go to Matt Smith. Matt Smith joining us, the voice of the Socastee Braves. And, Smitty, the dream is over. Long live the dream.
A tough night for Socastee on the road. Thought it might be at Lugoff Elgin as the Demons win 42-6. I just drop in a non sequitur here, but I heard you talking about Dylan's freshman quarterback, and I got to see him up close. And he looks like he was built in a lab. He's everything you would want in a football player. So I think he's certainly got a bright future. He put it on Socastee early on in the season. But tonight, we saw a different young quarterback, Zach Williams, sophomore, for Lugoff Elgin. He opened the game with a 69-yard touchdown pass, and then it was the Jarquise Grant show, the running back for the Demons, 5 touchdowns, and that's how it got to 42-6. So, yes, Socastee unfortunately sees their season end. They did pick up a couple of really nice victories at the tail end of the season, and they've got a lot of young players that are a part of their nucleus that will return. Lugoff Elgin, meanwhile, will be on the road next week to Irmo, and I think everybody listening knows how good Irmo is this season and what they can do. Lugoff Elgin, they are dangerous. They could give you some problems, could give Irmo some issues with their speed on the outside and their big offensive line. Although they've got things to clean up, they had 7 holding penalties in the Demons in the first half, and the punting game didn't look sharp. Just little things that they could clean up. But as far as just the athleticism from the outside and a young quarterback in Zach Williams that can spin it, they have the pieces to make big plays, even against a team as talented as Irmo.
Who was the young man who scored the 5 touchdowns?
Jarquise Grant, starting running back for Lugoff Elgin, and just had his way. Now, he runs behind a really big offensive line. They average about 280 at the offensive line for LE. So he had some good blocking. He was often into Socastee's secondary untouched, but 5 touchdowns, and he was fantastic. But they were fantastic at the wide receiver position and the quarterback position to go with it. Socastee just never got untracked against their defense. It was just one of those nights, but I came away certainly impressed with Grant, impressed with Williams and the receivers.
Okay, Smitty, safe drive back to your neck of the woods. We'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely. I'll be listening the rest of the way, guys.
Thank you. Get some rest. Smitty has been all over the place as the voice of the Coastal Carolina women's basketball team. He was just in Provo, Utah. From Provo, Utah, back to South Carolina, over to Lugoff Elgin, now back to Georgetown. So he has been a world traveler. All right, David, Lugoff Elgin, 5 touchdowns, 1 running back. That's a good night's work. And they get Irmo next, so they got a tough one ahead of them.
Yeah, they got pretty good athletes on the outside, big offensive line, but Irmo's Irmo.
Yes, they are. And they'll be still mad after what happened last week, I'm sure. So we'll see how that turns out for the Demons, but it's going to be a tough night's work for them coming up next week. All right, let's go to Lou Bajak from the state newspaper, Scoop, watching Gray Collegiate tonight. Gray Collegiate had a big offensive night tonight, Lou. They had it going for them in the opening round of the playoffs. They put up a big offensive total tonight. What'd you like about them?
The running game tonight. I mean, BC was kind of daring them. They weren't putting many guys in the box, and they were daring them. I mean, they're trying to shut down the passing game, and as a result, Trayvon Williamson ran for 4 touchdowns. Royce Williamson had 2, and then Nate Dixon had 3 touchdowns in the second half. They just were able to run the ball against them. BC actually led 7-0. They did an onside kick to start the game, recovered it, and then scored a touchdown. But that was about it. They shut things down pretty quick. Defense forced a couple turnovers, and then like I said, the running game just got things going. And that freshman quarterback Xavier Wright's going to be a good one. And he didn't have to do a lot tonight through the air, but and I think Gray has a chance. I mean, next week will get a lot tougher. Obviously, Hartsville coming in town next week. So, but they like that's another big win after last year missing the playoffs and everything that happened. So good start to their postseason for the War Eagles.
63-7. I chuckled because you mentioned the onside kick. I mean, we had Hugh Gray on from the Newberry game, and they had like 3 or 4 onside kicks in that game. It seems to be spreading across the state, this virus of onside kicks.
Yeah, and talking to Coach Bryan after, they knew it was coming. They've seen BC. They were do it in different games this year, and they just weren't ready for it. They just had it went right through the players' hands, and yeah, it's interesting. It's hey, trying to get that early momentum, and BC had the momentum, and they just couldn't keep it. And Gray, like I said, powerful on the offense. They could score with the best of them. They got a lot of speed at the receiver position, good freshman quarterback, and like I said, Trayvon Williamson running the ball behind that good offensive line.
All right, so what else around the Midlands tonight has caught your attention? Anything jump out at you?
Blythewood going on the road to beat Clover. I think they were down 17-0 and coming back and winning. I think they had 2 pick sixes. James Veazey, quarterback, had a couple touchdowns. So that was a good win for the Bengals to go up to Clover and win. It wasn't a win, but Dreer nearly pulling off the upset of Daniel, coming days after their offensive line coach died unexpectedly. And they were playing with a lot of emotion and had the lead going in the fourth quarter and nearly pulled off the upset. That would have been pretty cool to see. But hats off to them. It's been a tough week for the program for sure.
Oh, man, I'm sorry to hear that. Can you tell us a little more? That's the first I've heard of that.
Yeah, they, the details, they didn't release too many details. I know it was unexpectedly. I think they'll have to wait for the heart autopsy. Wasn't sure. It wasn't, I think it happened at home. I think he was getting ready to go to school. And then, yeah, so... Yeah, I hate to see it, man, for sure. He'd been a coach at Keenan, too, before coming to Dreer. I think this is his second season at Dreer. And he was a loved teacher as well. Worked with the career with kids and the students. So, yeah, I hate to see it. Christopher Allen was his name.
Wow, sorry to hear that news. So, as you look ahead to next week, what do you have your eyes on around the Midlands?
That one, the caller before, I think Lugoff Irmo. That's going to be interesting to see how that goes. Skeeza, we got Heathwood and Hammond semifinals, and those two teams played a really good game the first time around with Hammond winning close. I think Newberry and Hanahan, that should be good. Newberry was down tonight and was able to come back. And then the two, AC Flora and Camden, going on the road, but the way I like their chances, we got Camden going to Daniel, who, like I said, struggled with Dreer, and then Flora going to Seneca. Those are two teams to watch for going on the road. And then I like Hartsville. Hartsville Gray should be a lot of points in that one for sure.
David Shelton, you got a question for Scoop?
No, I'm just sitting here enjoying his hyperbole.
Scoop, you got a question for David Shelton?
So what do you think? Anything that stood out tonight? I mean, there's another one. I mean, Gilbert going on the road to beat Bluff. I was a little surprised by that. Anything else, David, that kind of surprised you?
I mean, I haven't looked at all the scores, but I haven't seen anything that, Blythewood beating Clover is probably you classify that as an upset. I know Bluffton has a great passing game, but I was skeptical about their defense, and Gilbert, kind of proved that. But, and down here in Somerville rolled up. At one point, they had 65 points. I don't know what they finished with, but at one point they had 65. But James Island looked really good tonight. They got to go to Sumter next week. That's going to be a great matchup. But James Island looked they looked on point tonight.
And another one, I think Ridgeview and Spartanburg next week. Also, Spartanburg coming to Ridgeview. I think those have a chance to be really good games in Division I playoffs. I think the upper and lower state in Division I should have good matchups, and I think Division II, 5A Division II upper state has some good matchups next week as well.
All right,
you're right.
Thank you, Lou. We'll let you get back at it. We'll remind everybody to check out your work, state.com, gogamecocks.com, on X for Lou Bajak. So we thank you, and we'll talk to you next week. Always appreciate it.
Appreciate it, guys.
You too, buddy. All right, Scoop, Lou Bajak from the state newspaper. All right, let's roll to the break, and we'll come back and run through all the scores. Got pretty much everything posted up and ready to go, and David can comment on some of these results tonight. Of course, we start looking ahead to what we've got in round two, and, of course, we welcome in those teams that had byes tonight, so that'll make it even more juicy when we get back to it next week in round number 2. So stay with us. This is the High School Football Scoreboard across the state on the Sports Talk Media Network, and it's brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union.
You were always more than my mom. You were my role model, my best friend, and biggest supporter. You filled my days with unconditional love, and you also prepared for the day when you couldn't be here. Because of the woman you were back then, I'm able to be the woman I am now. Your planning made this moment possible.
Set your family up for life. Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance. Your friends for life.
Life insurance isn't for you. It's for those you love the most. For a complete insurance review, call Buddy Bridges in Lawrence County at 864-923-2174, serving Lawrence, Clinton, and the shores of Lake Greenwood.
Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi. Not licensed to do business in all 50 states.
You work hard for your money. Shouldn't your money work hard for you too? Think about all the hours you've put in, the late nights, the early mornings, the dedication to your craft. Now imagine those dollars doing some of the heavy lifting for a change, growing quietly in the background while you focus on what matters most. Whether you're saving for a dream vacation, a new home, or just building a cushion for peace of mind, putting your money to work is one of the smartest moves you can make. Open a certificate at Founders Federal Credit Union and earn more with your savings. For a limited time only, Founders is offering 18-month certificates at 4.32% annual percentage yield and 18-month IRA certificates at 4.58% annual percentage yield. To get started, visit foundersfcu.com/dividend rates or one of our many convenient office locations. All you need is $500 to get started, but don't delay. These rates won't last. Open your certificate today. Your future self will thank you for opening a certificate at Founders. Federally insured by the NCUA. Membership qualification required. $500 minimum balance. 18-month term. Dividends compound quarterly. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Straight Up Sports is simply all sports, all the time. Straight Up Sports is a collection of retired and award-winning sports writers and sports broadcasters from around South Carolina, like Bob Gillespie from the State Newspaper, Scott Kiefer from the Greenville News, and Mark Sturgis from ESPN Upstate. Straight Up Sports is about the stories, just like the days gone by with no editors nor managers involved. Check us out on Facebook or Twitter or online at straightupsports.net.
Touchstone Energy Cooperative members save more on electricity, and members save more on insurance, groceries, healthcare, restaurants, travel, concerts, and sporting events through Co-op Connections. Touchstone Energy is an alliance of the member-owned electric cooperatives, and as a member, the power is yours. Experience the power of co-op membership with Touchstone Energy and find out how much you can save on electricity and a whole lot more at touchstoneenergy.com.
Along with David Shelton and Josh Cohen, Phil Kornblut here from our studios in Columbia. It is the High School Football Scoreboard, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. All right, let's take you around the state. We'll go class by class. Let David break it down. Round one of the playoffs. 5A Division I, Upper State, Boiling Springs 16, Malden 14, Rock Hill 47, Spring Valley nothing, Spartanburg 45, J.L. Mann 3, Blythewood 42, Clover 23. That's a significant win for the Bengals. Go on the road and get a playoff win. Lower State, Fort Dorchester 24, Lexington 21, Somerville 65, West Ashley 21, James Island 48, Wando nothing, River Bluff 24, Cane Bay 13. All right, David, your thoughts on tonight's 5A D1?
Other than the Blythewood win at Clover, it went pretty much chalk. No big upsets. Next week's going to be where the rubber meets the road for these schools.
Somerville kind of sending out any kind of a message tonight with a big win, a big solid blowout victory.
Well, I mean they beat West Ashley 38-0 2 weeks ago, so there was no surprise. But yeah, their offense is clicking right now. That sets up a game at Ashley Ridge, who beat them a couple of weeks ago for the region title, and I think Somerville has served notice that their offense is coming to play, and Ashley Ridge can score, so that game might have 100 points.
All right, so here's what we've got for next week. Working in those teams that had first-round byes, Boiling Springs will play at Dutch Fork. It will be Rock Hill at Burns. It will be Spartanburg and Ridgeview. And it will be Blythewood at Dorman. And Spartanburg, Ridgeview. Who's going to be the home team there? Do you know?
Ridgeview, I think.
Yep. They were the third seed. I guess Spartanburg is a sixth seed. Yep, it will be Ridgeview. So Spartanburg coming to the Midlands to play Ridgeview. And then on the other side of the bracket, you've got Fort Dorchester going to Carolina Forest, Ashley Ridge to Somerville. It'll be Somerville going to Ashley Ridge. I'm sorry, Somerville to Ashley Ridge, James Island to Sumter, and River Bluff to Stratford. So Somerville and Ashley Ridge, second round playoffs. What kind of crowd are you going to be expecting for that one?
It'll be full. As many people as they can get in that stadium, if that's how many will be there.
How big is their stadium?
Ashley Ridge is pretty big. I mean, they hold a lot of people. I think 7,000 probably.
Okay. All right, 5A Division II in the Upper State, Catawba Ridge 13, Fort Mill 3, Gaffney 28, Eastside 10, Hillcrest 35, Riverside 14, Greenville 42, Nation Ford 35. Lower State, Lugoff Elgin 42, Socastee 6, Lucy Beckham 38, North Myrtle Beach 21, West Florence 42, Conway 7, and Westwood 41, St. James 14. Your thoughts there, David?
Again, just pretty much chalk. The teams that you thought would win, they did win. Not a lot of surprising scores. So we'll wait and see next week. I think it'll get a little more competitive. Division 2 is really Division 2 of 5A is not as competitive as the Division 1. I mean, in the lower state you almost pencil in Irmo, and in the upper state you almost go ahead and pencil in Northwestern, the rematch. I mean, I guess Berkeley might have a say-so with Irmo, but they would have to go to Irmo and win in the lower state finals, and assuming they both win. I mean, they could get beat next week.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think in Division 1 you don't really. I mean, yeah, you say Dutch Fort, but there are some other teams that are fairly capable.
Looking at next week, it'll be Catawba Ridge going to Northwestern. I'm looking forward to this one. Gaffney at Greenwood. That should be a good one.
Yeah. That's a game worthy of upper state title.
Mm-hmm. That's old school South Carolina upper state 5A football right there. 4A football, 5A football, Class C, whatever you want to call it. Indian Land will host Hillcrest. Indian Land. I mean, nobody talks about Indian Land, but they had a great year. Do they have enough weapons to go, a little ways in the playoffs?
Well, they got weapons. I mean, they can score. I mean, their only loss was to Northwestern, and they got hammered pretty good. But they've only lost one game, so you'd have to think that they got a shot.
Clemson just offered a defensive end off that team, by the way, and this will be good. Greenville and T.L. Hanna. I think they just played. Didn't they just play a couple of? That was the game last week. Was that the game last week where they returned the kickoff for the touchdown? Was that who Greenville lost to? Or was it somebody else? I can't remember.
It was not Greenville Hanna last week, but they have played recently.
Okay. Well, that should be an interesting matchup, of course. Now let's look at the lower state. As you mentioned, it'll be Lugoff Elgin at Irmo. White Knoll hosting Lucy Beckham. What do you think? Lucy Beckham coming up this way. White Knoll's good team, as we well know, usually plays good defense.
Yeah, and Beckham plays good defense, and Beckham runs the football very well. It'll be a very physical. Lucy Beckham is a very physical team, one of the more physical teams down here in Charleston. And White Knoll, we know, is very physical. So that could be what they call the old slobber knocker.
The old slobber knocker. West Florence goes to Myrtle Beach. What about Myrtle Beach? How close is Mickey Wilson to having this program back to where it was?
Well, I mean, they only had one. They've had one losing season since he's been head coach, so they ain't never went anywhere. They just win 8-9 games instead of 12-13 games. But and unfortunately, they're Division II in the lower state, and that's where Irmo is. And Irmo beat the crap out of them earlier this year. So, but I definitely think they can go a couple of rounds.
Okay, and then it'll be Berkeley hosting Westwood. This Berkeley team coming on, the Stags, what do you like about them?
Yeah, I like their defense. I like the way they can get to the quarterback. Their defensive front is really good against the run. They got 3 really good linebackers. They got an outstanding quarterback, but they're really running the football very well. I think they'll take care of Westwood, and then they would get the White Knoll Lucy Beckham winners. So they beat Beckham earlier this year, but their defense is good. 2 years ago they were giving up about 35 points a game, but they were playing all sophomores, and now they're playing all seniors, and it is a experience matters, let's just say.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the 4A bracket, Upper State, and we'll hit the break here and talk more about it after the break. But South Point, 63, Beaufort 13, Emerald 44, Fountain Inn 36, heck of a game. AC Flora 49, York 14, Seneca 28, Lancaster 21, Wren 42, Blue Ridge 28, Westside 49, Pickens 21, Camden 38, Greer 20. And as we talked with Lou Bajak about this Daniel Dreer game, much tighter than expected going in, 14-10. Lions win it. Lower State, South Florence 47, Darlington 7. Bishop England 24, Lower Richland 7. Gilbert 38, Bluffton 21. North Augusta, got to keep an eye on the Yellow Jackets. They've been good all year. 44-6 over Midland Valley. Hartsville 45, Crestwood 8. Gray Collegiate 63, Brooklyn Casey 7. Wilson 36, May River 28, and Hilton Head 52. South Aiken 24. We'll let David dive into these games, and we'll talk about that bracket. And then we'll continue through the scores. We've got everything in 3A. We need an academic magnet and Manning score. If you got that, text it to us, 803-900-4847. And we need a C.A. Johnson Calhoun County score. Text it to us, 803-900-4847. Be right back.
This is Fran Halloran, the Money Coach. Grow with the point as we build on 10 incredible years of community local radio. We've built an environment where our listeners are our family. Are you a small business with big dreams? Join the tremendous stable of advertising partners at The Point. Connect with Kevin Cohen and brainstorm a tailored strategy to escalate your business growth using the powerful platform of The Point. Call Kev directly at 563-8558. Teaming with The Point, you can make the next year your best year.
As an organ donor, your story doesn't have to end. The good in you can live on. In fact, you could save up to 8 lives and restore sight and health for many more. Sign up right now online as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. You'll be happy you did. And just maybe, someone else will be happy too. Go to organdonor.gov. It saves lives. U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
With SRN News, I'm Ron Taylor. The Supreme Court has granted the Trump administration's emergency appeal to temporarily block a court order to fully fund SNAP food aid payments amid the government shutdown. A judge had given the Republican administration until Friday to make the payments through the SNAP program, but the administration asked an appeals court to suspend any court orders requiring it to spend more money than is available in a contingency fund. After the appeals court declined to immediately intervene, Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson issued an order late Friday pausing the requirement to distribute full SNAP payments until the appeals court rules on whether to issue a more lasting pause. Anxious travelers across the country feeling a bit of relief as airlines have mostly stayed on schedule while gradually cutting flights because of the shutdown. At least 1,000 flights were called off Friday as airlines comply with the Federal Aviation Administration's order to reduce service. This is SRN News.
Hi, I'm Tazima. Join me every Saturday at 11 a.m. for Small Business Saturday. We'll celebrate business owners in our community while learning their stories of success and failure. It's Small Business Saturday right here at 100.7 The Point.
Hello, this is Stacy Huff, host of Huff Nation Sports Zone, each and every Saturday, 10 to 11 a.m. right here on 100.7 FM, The Point, and also 1470 a.m. It'll be a fun trip around the world of sports. Huff Nation Sports Zone, check it out.
It's that time of year where our focus turns toward the holidays. For many, it's been a tough year, but now the holidays are coming. It's not about the gifts you get. It's about the gifts we've already been given. This is the time of year we show compassion for those who are in need in our own backyard and overseas too. It's also a time of the year that we should be grateful that we absolutely live in the greatest country in the history of this world. At Bergen Roofing, every one of their employees truly believes in doing their best at the office and at home. Stuart Bergen leads by example, and trust me, we're close friends, I can attest to it. So this holiday season, while many others are finding their inner Grinch, please take the opportunity to just do better. Be a better husband or wife, a better brother or sister, son or daughter, or even a better friend. Just be better to one another. Maybe your actions will inspire someone else to do the same. We all share the same air, so why not share the same holiday spirit? And while you're at it, please hug the ones you love a little tighter this holiday season. These are just some of the reasons that Bergen Roofing has been known as your neighborhood roofer. Happy holidays from the whole team at Bergen Roofing.
At Palmetto State Armory, we offer the largest selection of guns and ammunition at unbeatable prices. Our knowledgeable and friendly staff are here to provide personalized assistance, ensuring you find exactly what you need. If you enjoy outdoor activities like hunting, camping, or hiking, our clothing and outdoor gear collection has got you covered. We also feature an exceptional indoor range facility where you can experience the thrill of shooting in a safe and controlled environment. Visit us today at PalmettoStateArmory.com or your local retail store. Palmetto State Armory, American made for life.
Hey, this is Ray.
And Mary Ann with Absolute Glass.
And we're happy to have been voted Lexington's best glass store for 15 years in a row.
Many drivers are unaware that your cracked windshields can be replaced, usually at absolutely no cost to you.
If all the high-end car dealerships in town can trust us to do their glass needs, so can you.
We service the Midlands both at our shop in Lexington, but we are also happy to come to you at home or work.
Find us online at AbsoluteGlassInc.com.
And remember, if you can see through it, we can do it.
I'm
Oh, we're so happy. We got the last two scores in we've been looking for. Thank you for texting them in to us from the 843, whoever you are. We thank you. C.A. Johnson beat Calhoun County 12-0. Manning beat Academic Magnet 48-7. David, how about C.A. Johnson? They've shown life this year.
Yeah, well, they've had life last couple of years. They've been pretty competitive.
Good win for them tonight. We'll get into that just a little bit when we go through that bracket. 12-0 over Calhoun County. So we were just going over the 4A. What was it? The 4A bracket we were going over?
Yes.
4A bracket. I got through all the 4A scores. So give me your take on these 4A results. What kind of stood out to you? Who's moving forward?
Well, pretty, nothing. I mean, these games are so easy to pick. If I bet money on high school football, I could pick the first round and be a millionaire because there just aren't upset. I mean, the Daniel Dreer game was obviously very close. Dreer playing with a lot of emotion, but a lot of people will look at that and say, well, Daniel must be down. They're not going to go past the second round. But sometimes you win that first round game and you don't play great, and then you put it all together and you get on a little roll. So I'm not counting Daniel out yet just because they had a tough time with Dreer, and Lancaster gave Seneca a pretty good battle.
Yes, they did. They did. So let's see. Looking at the bracket, find that bracket. I just had it. Here we go. Looking at the bracket. So next week, you got Emerald going to South Point. You have got AC Flora going to Seneca. AC Flora travels to Seneca. It'll be Wren at West Side, and it'll be Daniel hosting Camden. Yeah, Daniel hosting Camden in the upstate of the 4A. So what are you thinking there? You see anything that could be surprising?
Well,
maybe Wren West Side? Wren West Side?
I tell you right now, West Side started the season 0-4, and everybody discounted them. Everybody just threw them away, and they have not lost since. They're playing their very best football right now. Mm-hmm. They're a program that's been in the finals, won championships. They had to kind of recover after losing Cutter Woods to Carolina.
Yep.
But they are putting it together right now, and they just played Wren a couple of weeks ago and beat them. But it would not shock me to see Westside advance through this upper state bracket.
I think it's Cutter's brother, Bear, who's the quarterback, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Now, he's a young fella. I saw him at the Anderson Touchdown Club. He's a young fella, but he is a big fella. They say he throws it. All right, in the lower state, it's Bishop England, South Florence. It's going to be Gilbert going to North Augusta. It will be Gray Collegiate hosting Hartsville, and it will be Wilson hosting Hilton Head. So South Florence, clearly the favorite in this group, or maybe do you see North Augusta perhaps being a big factor here?
Well, I think those are the top two teams. I would be surprised if they didn't end up meeting in the lower state. But South Florence is the team to beat. North Augusta is very good, but you got to beat South Florence, or they're going to be in the finals, because they're very talented on defense, very talented on offense, veteran quarterback, very good coach. I don't see Bishop England being able to go there and beat them. Their
quarterback is who at this time for the Bruins?
Well, I call him Jesus Christ, but his name's Messiah. Messiah Jackson.
You can get away saying that, David.
Yeah.
You can get away saying that. All right, let's go to 3A. 3A Upper State, Powdersville 66, Carolina nothing. Pendleton 24, Broome 21. Mountain View Prep 28, St. Joseph 27. I got to read you. I got a text message here from a fan up that way, a fan of Mountain View Prep. You know how fans are, right, David?
Yeah.
Worst officiated game I have ever seen in all my days of watching high school football. Called 4 touchdowns back against MVP and did their absolute best to hose us.
And St. Joe's went for 2 after their last touchdown to try to get the win.
Oh, really?
And they didn't get it. I mean, it wasn't. I don't think it was right at the very end of the game, but they tried to get the lead and ended up not getting it.
Now, a team like Mountain View Prep, though, like you said, when you open the playoffs, you're like a big favorite, and you have a scare, but you survive that first round, can kind of wake you up a little bit, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, listen, the playoffs. We so-called experts put way too much emphasis on scores and stuff like that. It's survive in advance. I mean, you got to win by 1 point, and if you do, you keep playing. If you don't, you take up equipment. So, maybe some teams didn't play their best, but they won. And now, if they play their best, they're going to be a problem for some people.
Crescent beat Union County 52-14. Early on, I thought Union County was making a little bit of progress, but kind of faded as the season went on. A long way from where they used to be when Mike Anthony was there, shining championship trophies, aren't they?
Well, you look at some of the coaches they've had, Shell Dooley, Mike Anthony, Steve Tannehill. Their program has just gone downhill. And it does not appear to be on the way back yet.
Belton Honeypath beat Palmetto 56-7. We never give the Bears enough love, I don't think. Year after year, they're right there. Maybe this is going to be a breakthrough year for them to get, to take it all this year, 56-7.
Yeah, you know what they do? They have a quarterback that is very efficient. When you look at their stats, he's very capable thrower, getting touchdowns and running the ball. They have a really good running back in MJ Earls, and they play really hard on defense. So, yeah, they're the team to beat in the Upper State. I mean, if somebody's going to have to beat Belton Honeypath to get there, because they're going to be around.
You like them more than Woodruff. Woodruff beat West Oak 49-7. You like the Bears more than the Wolverines?
I kind of do. I think BHP's experience gives them a little bit of an edge, but Woodruff's got, the same thing. They play great defense. They got a running game. They got a quarterback. That if that ends up being the matchup at some point, that'll be a great football game.
Mm-hmm. Christ Church over Walhalla 47-7. Southside Christian beat Chapman 55-15. Lower State, Oceanside Collegiate 49, Georgetown 15. I don't know how Georgetown scored. I don't know what the score was, but tip of the cap to the Bulldogs. I mean, winless, going on the road. They scored a couple of touchdowns. hey, man, you got to give them their props for hanging in there and putting up a fight, a little bit of a fight.
Yeah, it was 49-0, and Oceanside had emptied the bench when they scored. It was 42-0 at halftime. So with starter on starter, it was not competitive.
No, and you wouldn't expect it to be. Nobody did, but
no.
I'm just trying to give those kids a little credit for going out there and even if it was the bench boys that got it done, they probably felt good about getting a couple of touchdowns there at the end. So I'm all about the kids here, David. I'm not about paying these athletes millions of dollars. I'm about the children.
Okay.
I care about the children. Marlboro County 49, Swansea 13. Silver Bluff 39, North Charleston 12. Dillon 49, Fox Creek 8. Loris 59, Battery Creek 19. How about Orangeburg Wilkinson? They came up short in the region, but they get a playoff win tonight, 25-12 over Keenan. OW going to be heard from again, you think?
They could win another round. I don't see them going much farther, because I think the competition that they will see here coming up is going to be, the one team they played that I thought was really good, Oceanside, and Oceanside beat them by 30. So, I think when they come up against a really good team with good players, good athletes, good coaches, they may have a little bit of a problem.
Okay. Hanahan, 38. Waccamaw, 21. And Newberry, 54. Ainer, 14. So checking out the bracket for next week, we have got, in the upper state, we have got Pendleton going to Powdersville. We've got Crescent going to MVP. Make that MVP going to Crescent. I'm sorry. 5 going to 4. MVP going to Crescent. Southside Christian going to Belton Honeypath, and Christ Church going to Woodruff. What do you think? What are you thinking out of those games?
Well, I think Powdersville's going to win. I think Belton Honeypath's going to win. I think MVP's going to win. And I think who's the other one? Woodruff.
Woodruff Christ Church.
Woodruff will win, and it's Woodruff VHP in the third round. So
Woo!
That hopefully we get that. Hopefully, we get all excited about future matchups and somebody loses.
That's right. Lower State, Marlboro County going to Oceanside. What's been the story about Marlboro County's bounce back year this year? They've been pretty good all year.
Well, yeah, I mean their coach knows what he's doing. He was a big time winner in North Carolina, and they got over that suspension thing. They played with a little chip on their shoulder, and they're going to have to play very well to beat Oceanside, but they certainly athletically they can match up.
All right, Dillon will host Silver Bluff. Orangeburg Wilkinson will go to Loris. Hanahan will come up to play Newberry, and gotta like Newberry at home. I mean,
oh yeah,
they've been good all year.
And Loris at home is, you just mentioned OW, and going to Loris is going to be a tough challenge.
Yeah, that's right. All right, let's hit the break, and we'll come back and hit the rest of the brackets and the rest of the scores and get the rest of what David's got left in that brain tonight. Probably not a whole lot, David, huh?
Nope, it's pretty scrambled.
We didn't get a hot call tonight. Where's the hot caller? He took the night off?
Yeah, I don't know if he went to a game or I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Chastise him for leaving us hanging. Okay, we'll be back. More of David Shelton and the high school scoreboard in a moment.
Football season is upon us, and that means Columbia is welcoming fans from around the corner and across the country. No matter where you're from, Gamecocks love coming together for game day energy that can only be found in South Carolina's capital city. Book hotel rooms, find pre- and post-game activities, and plan your tailgate spread with local favorites from pimento cheese to barbecue at experiencecolumbiasc.com. We'll see you soon, and go Gamecocks!
The holiday shopping season is here. Get ahead of the crowd by shopping early and shopping smart with Founders Federal Credit Union. Now through December 31st, Take advantage of 5.99% APR on select purchases made with your Founders credit card. Whether you're picking up the hottest toys for the kids or finally grabbing that item you've had your eye on, this offer makes it easier to spend holiday cheer without stretching your budget. Founders is here to help you make the most of the season with smart spending and flexible options. Treat your family and yourself. Save more and make this holiday season one to remember. Visit foundersfcu.com/cc for more information. Membership qualification required. Promotional rate ends July 1st, 2026. Effective APR of 13% to 17.9% will apply. See website for details.
Call Lawyer Lisa. Experience the difference with Lawyer Lisa.
Hi, I'm Lisa Hosseller-Brown. Did you know Lawyer Lisa offers a prevention plan add-on to our services? If you already have a trust or just need some updates, ask about getting your ducks in a row and getting all of your wishes set out before it's needed. Visit lawyerlisa.com for more information.
Call Lawyer Lisa. Experience the difference with Lawyer Lisa.
7511 St. Andrews Road, Irmo, South Carolina.
South Carolina's taste buds have spoken, and they're asking for beef. There are more than 7,800 farms raising cattle from pasture to plate in the Palmetto State. So whether it's steaks on the grill before the big game, sirloin medallions plated for date night, or burgers with a family, make sure beef is a part of your playbook this football season. Smoked, grilled, and slow roasted. Find the best way to enjoy your beef at scattle.org. Beef. It's what's for dinner in South Carolina. Funded by the South Carolina Beef Council, part of the Beef Checkoff Program.
Lose, Gators, lose. All right, let's get back to our breakdown of these brackets. Go to the 2A divisions in the upper state. Clinton 56, North Central 7, Saluda 33, Mid Carolina 13, Andrew Jackson 34, 96-15, Fairfield Central 50, Chesney 21, Chester 50, Blacksburg 6, Batesburg Leesville 42, Eau Claire nothing, Strom Thurmond 49, Chesterfield nothing, Liberty 35, Pillion 14, Lower State, Hampton County 56, Lake City 22, Cheraw 17, Andrews 7, Manning 48, Academic Magnet 7, Timberland 46, Barnwell 8, Central 56, Kingstree 6, East Clarendon 14, Lake Marion nothing, Phillips Simmons 57, Well Branch 12, Atlantic Collegiate 14, Woodland nothing. All right, so David, we look ahead to next week. 2As. We got Saluda going to Clinton. We got Fairfield Central going to Andrew Jackson. Batesburg Leesville going to Chester. And Liberty going to Strom Thurmond. Tell us more about this Andrew Jackson team. Don't hear a whole heck of a lot about them, but how good are they?
Yeah, they started kind of average, very, very slow, and notched a win here or there, then lost the game. And I don't think they have the talent to win the upper state. But clearly they're one of the better teams over the last several years in 2A. I think it the upper state still runs through Clinton.
Yeah,
somebody's got to beat Clinton.
Strom Thurmond coming back to where they kind of used to be. I don't know if they're all the way back because they had some great teams down there for a lot of years. What do you think of them?
Yeah, they're a team that if they play Clinton, could be danger for Clinton. I just don't. Fairfield Central is another one. There's a lot of could be's, but until you go to Clinton and beat Clinton, it's just a tough thing to expect.
Lower State, you got Chirac going to Hampton County, Timberland to Manning, East Clarendon to Central, and Atlantic Collegiate going to Philip Simmons. So Hampton County, I tell you, best thing ever happened to that program was making one high school. They've been good ever since they consolidated.
Yeah, Philip Simmons is pretty good. Not sure how good because of their schedule. They handled Whale Branch, but they beat Whale Branch earlier in the year really bad. And don't overlook Central. They've been ranked number one for most of the year. I think they lost one game. They could still be the team in that. How they got in the lower state bracket, I don't know. But they are. So, we'll see what happens.
All right, let's give you these 1A finals. Upper State, Abbeville 6-3-0. Say that again. 63-0 over Great Falls. Louisville 62-0 over Whitmire. Blackville Hilda 15-0 over McCormick. C.A. Johnson 12-0 over Calhoun County. Hunter Connor Tyler 56-14 over Lee Central. Ware Shoals 38, Ridge Spring Winetta 0. Lamar 49, Calhoun Falls 0. Wagner Sally 14, Dixie 0. Lower State, Cross gets a bye. Bethune Bowman 34, Ridgeland 30. Scotts Branch 32, Hannah Pamplico 14. Johnsonville 48, Branchville 7. Carvers Bay 59, Allendale Fairfax 0. Lakeview 28, Hardyville 0. Bamberg Earhart 65, St. John's 0. And Latta 34, Baptist Hill 14. I'll come back to that bracket in a moment. Let me give the Skeeza finals here so we can wrap it up. In 4A, Northwood Academy Northwood Academy got a bye. Porter-Gaud 13, Lawrence Manning 6. Hammond Academy with a bye. Heathwood Hall 48, Ben Lippen 7. 3A, Wilson Hall 56, First Baptist 24. Hilton Head Christian 42, Trinity Collegiate 20. Pinewood Prep 60, Northside Christian 13. Florence Christian 28, John Paul II 12. 2A, Hilton Head Prep 27, Calhoun Academy 26. PD Academy 27, Orangeburg Prep 0. Bethesda 46, Thomas Sumter 6. Greenwood Christian 31, Dillon Christian 7. 1A, Cowden Prep 44, Lee Academy 28. Dorchester Academy 36, Buford Academy 20. Williamsburg Academy 40, Patrick Henry 12. Thomas Hayward 47, Carolina Academy 20. 8-man, Jeff Davis 44, Wardlaw 42. W.W. King with the bye. Holly Hill Academy 38, Richard Wynn 20. Lawrence Academy with the bye. All right, David, back to the 1A High School League. Looking at the bracket, and we're going to have Louisville at Abbeville. That's kind of juicy. C.A. Johnson at Blackville Hilda. Ware Shoals hosting Hunter Connor Tyler. And Wagner Sally going to Lamar. What do you think?
I think the best matchup is Hunter Connor Tyler and whoever you just said.
Ware Shoals.
Yeah, I think that's the most competitive game. Abbeville, Louisville sounds spicy. I'm not sure if Louisville can go and beat Abbeville on the road, but I think the one to watch is that HKT Ware Shoals game.
Okay. So, Lower State, Bethune Bowman at Cross, Johnsonville at Scotts Branch, Lakeview at Carvers Bay, and Latta and Bamberg Earhart. So, is that Bamberg Earhart going to Latta? 11 and a 2?
Not No, Ladder would have to go to Bamberg.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the brackets and I'm seeing these seeds. Why do I see it says Ladder 2 seed and Bamberg Earhart 11 seed? I don't think that's right. Anyway, Ladder
Bamberg Earhart what seed?
It's says 11.
They won a region championship. They're not.
Maybe that's supposed to be a 1?
Yeah, they got to be hosting.
Anyway, we got about 30 seconds. Quick thoughts.
I think the Ladder Bamberg game will be interesting.
Ooh, okay.
Carver's Bay, I think, will handle Lakeview. Johnsonville, I think, is going to win. So it's pretty much just chalk in the lower state. I think all the favorite teams will win.
David, it's been a pleasure. Glad you're feeling better. Looking forward to getting you back out in the fields next week somewhere.
Yep. We'll see.
Have yourself a great weekend.
Thank you, man.
All right, buddy. David Shelton, Best in Business, High School Sports Report, Charleston Post and Courier. Don't forget to check out the website, sportstalksc.com. We got all the scores, got all the brackets up there as well. So follow along there. Thank you, Josh Cohen. Thanks to all the players, coaches, officials, concessionaires, family members for making it happen. Have a great weekend.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
From the Bart Fireside Studio, the solution for keeping you warm this winter.
This is 107 The Point.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Ron Taylor. As the federal government shutdown drags on, millions more Americans are today being impacted as airlines are canceling many flights nationwide due to staffing issues. That's on top of countless others struggling to find food stamps and other programs with no end in sight there. On the Salem News program this week on Capitol Hill with Tony Perkins, House Speaker Mike Johnson says the mayoral election in New York City this week is having a negative impact on efforts in Washington to end the shutdown.
Mondani is now the new leader of the Democrat Party. And frankly, he is the reason that we're in a prolonged federal government shutdown, because the Democrats who run the House and the Senate, the two top-ranked Democrats on Capitol Hill, are also from New York. And they're terrified that they're going to get a challenge from a Mondani disciple. So this is the direction that the party is headed. They're going full Marxist and socialist. It is a dangerous turn, but they show no signs of letting up on that. And meanwhile, we're trying to apply common sense and govern for the people.
Speaker Johnson's entire This Week on Capitol Hill interview will be broadcast beginning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time Saturday on the Salem News Channel. As the shutdown drags on, President Trump continues to pressure Senate Republicans to eliminate the filibuster. White House correspondent Greg Clugston has more.
With the Senate unable to reach the 60 votes needed to end the government shutdown, the president said it's time to change the rules.
The way to do it for the Republicans is to terminate the filibuster. They call it the nuclear option.
Despite the presidential pressure, most GOP senators do not support ending the filibuster because it gives them leverage whenever Democrats have the majority. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Scientist James Watson, who shared a Nobel Prize for helping discover the double helix shape of the DNA molecule, has died. He was 97. His death was announced by his former research lab. Watson also helped guide efforts to map the human genome. News and analysis at townhall.com. I'm Ron Taylor.
Dennis Prager here for AmFed Coin and Bullion. I've always been a strong believer in precious metals investment, and I've always been fascinated with rare coin collecting. But owning the wrong coins that only make dealers a lot of money can be catastrophic for your investment portfolio. AmFed Coin and Bullion specializes in taking people out of non-performing coin portfolios and turning them into gold, silver, or platinum bullion. They tailor a portfolio based on your goals and not what they want to sell you. You'll never experience scare tactics, misleading hype, or high-pressure sales from owner Nick Grovich and his very knowledgeable staff. They will evaluate your portfolio, show you how your coins have performed, and take the time to educate you on the ugly industry practices so that you can make an informed decision. Smart people can make very bad investments when they're under pressure and lack the facts. Call 800-221-7694. That's 800-221-7694. AmericanFederal.com.
The Rasmussen Report's daily presidential tracking poll for Friday shows that 46% of likely U.S. voters approve of President Trump's job performance.
The latest figures include 32% who strongly approve of the job Mr. Trump is doing and 43% who strongly disapprove. This gives him a presidential approval index rating of -11. President Trump's net approval rating is still about 5 points higher than it was on day 291 of his first term. The prolonged federal shutdown has severely disrupted access to food assistance for millions of Americans. The administration argued it lacked the resources to continue full funding of the program and warned that payments could stop entirely if Congress failed to pass new spending legislation. Bernie Bennett, Washington.
Stock indexes wound up mixed on Wall Street Friday. The S&P 500 edged up 0.1%. The Dow Jones Industrial rose 0.2%. The NASDAQ Composite slipped 0.2%. Quarterly reports from U.S. companies were a key focus. Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. As the shutdown drags on, President Trump continues to pressure Senate Republicans to eliminate the filibuster. More from White House correspondent Greg Clugston.
With the Senate unable to reach the 60 votes needed to end the government shutdown, the president said it's time to change the rules.
The way to do it for the Republicans is to terminate the filibuster. They call it the nuclear option.
Despite the presidential pressure, most GOP senators do not support ending the filibuster because it gives them leverage whenever Democrats have the majority. Greg Clugston, Washington.
The NCAA has revoked the eligibility of 6 men's college basketball players for allegations of sports betting in 3 separate cases at New Orleans, Mississippi Valley State, and Arizona State. The NCAA Committee on Infractions released findings Friday from an investigation that concluded the players manipulated their performances to lose games. You'll find more on these stories at townhall.com. I'm Ron Taylor, reporting.
Looking to update your home? At King's Renovation Services, we bring new life to your space. From stylish new floors, a fresh splash of paint, to complete kitchen and bathroom transformations. We do it all with quality and care. Visit us at 2515 Broad River Road. Check us out online at kingsrenovationservices.com or just call 803-849-9437 today. King's Renovation Services. Let's make your dream home a reality.
When I served in Iraq and Afghanistan, my buddies and I would do anything for each other. That's important whether you're in a firefight or fighting to regain your life. When I came home injured, there are people I can count on, like DAV.
DAV, Disabled American Veterans, stands behind America's veterans to make their transition back home easier with free services and help getting the benefits they've earned. Help us fulfill the promise to our men and women who served. Go to DAV.org to learn more.
Hello, FCS Nation. It's time for your show. I'm your host, Kevin Marshall. I'm coming to you again this week from the beautiful and historic low country of South Carolina down in Charleston. Joining me like he does each week is the co-host of this program, the quarterback of this program, Mr. Stone Lebanowitz. Stone is coming to you from his broadcast center in the Sunshine State of Florida. Well, Stone, while I was at the Citadel VMI game last week, carnage happened all over the top ranks of the FCS. It was a hell of a week. I can't remember anything for a long time quite like it.
No, you're absolutely correct. And I think what's ironic is the parody came from the conferences that we least expected. Carnage, it's an accurate representation of what we saw in the Missouri Valley and elsewhere as well. I mean, if you just look at the top 25 from last week and you look at it right now, whatever it is, wherever it is that you're listening from, you would think it's 2 separate years. That's how much damage was done last week in the FCS. And I think as we get into the month of November and money is on the table, it's just going to get weirder and weirder. This so far up to this point has been one of my favorite seasons covering FCS football.
It's nuts. And I'm trying to think about, what caused this? Why are these things happening? And I think just like everything else, it's a convenient excuse maybe to say, well, the transfer portal, there's just more parity right now because there's more player movement, I think, Stone. And these teams in some cases are a little deeper now because of it than they were. And if there's a week 10 game and everybody's beat up, you can run a fresh guy in there and the drop-off isn't nearly as steep as maybe it was 2 or 3 seasons ago. I'm really interested to hear other people's opinion on that, and we're going to probably do a mailbag on that sometime here in the near future. But getting to those games from last week, number 1, North Dakota State 38. Number 17, Youngstown State 30. Stone, I think we had said last week that we both thought that Youngstown State would push North Dakota State, unlike anybody else has this season anywhere, much less in that building. And if a couple of plays would have turned in their direction, they could have gotten out of here with a win. This was a tough, hard-fought football game. And I think the headline should have been Bison survive, because Youngstown State scared the hell out of those people.
They simply survive, and I think there are two things, whether you want to call them statistics, narratives, that you put side by side that gives you every answer to every possible question that you could have, and that is, 1, the final scoreline, 38-30, a one-possession victory, and then this stat to parlay with it. North Dakota State scored 2 touchdowns off of Youngstown State turnovers, and also had a special teams full field return that also put 6, make it 7 on the board. I think that's the difference in this game. Youngstown State obviously contended in this thing, had a chance because of Bo Brungard. We were correct in the sense that they were going to be pushed by Youngstown State. We talked about parity. I don't know if it's because where we're at in the season or Youngstown State is actually good. I think these next 3 weeks will give us that answer. But this was a ball game that I hope a lot of people had eyes on, because it really showed the Bison's true colors, and they're shining.
Number 2, Montana 38, Weber State 17. Good victory for Montana. Oh, and look, they just about scored 40 points again. This offense for Montana is serious business, sir.
I try to bring this up just for perspective, but Kevin, no kidding, in week 0, week 1, week 2, and week 3, we were talking about Ayat in a quarterback battle, and now he leads the entire subdivision in passing yards. It's ridiculous. I don't necessarily think we've seen that ever, to be quite frank with you, in all of the subdivision. That's the storyline here. Montana's offense is the storyline here, and it's nice to see finally this defense show up and hold a decent ball club to 17 points.
South Dakota 26, number 3, North Dakota 21. The Yotes looked like a different ball club last Saturday, Mr. Lebanowitz. North Dakota, I don't know what happened to them. Maybe they started believing some of the things that we were saying about them, some other people were saying about them, and they just thought they could throw their jerseys out there on the field and win. Aiden Bauman was efficient, not outstanding. The numbers weren't outstanding, but that rushing attack was outstanding for the Yotes.
You heard me say this before, and I've said it in years past as well, that North Dakota is not a team ever, no matter who's behind center, no matter what that skill position realm looks like for them in the locker room, on the field, on paper, that they cannot play from behind. I took a bite of this 12.5 point spread. I thought it was laughable. I mean, what are we doing? That's almost 2 possessions. I was pleased with how South Dakota played, and I think they're kind of making a mockery of the subdivision. I mean that no harm to everybody else, but this team is just as good, right, as the top 10 on any given Saturday. I don't think it was necessarily that North Dakota thought this was going to be a cakewalk or didn't get off the bus. This just looked like a veteran-led Yotes team. Aiden Bauman meant business from Jump Street. They just looked older than these guys. They leaned on them, and they played from ahead, and they got the ground game to do that. So this was just probably the most complete game of the season for the Coyotes.
Indiana State 24, number 4, South Dakota State 12. What the hell happened here? The trees come into Brookings and beat the Jackrabbits? I thought my upset special of the week, which we're going to get to in just a minute, was going to be the top one of those in the subdivision. Boy, I was wrong, wasn't I? Not about the upset special of the week pick, but about it being the best one. Indiana State just came in there, Stone, and they were not intimidated. They played a pretty good football game, and South Dakota State just did not.
You asked what the hell happened here. I still don't have an answer for you. I don't think Dan Jackson has an answer for you. I don't think any resident in Brookings, South Dakota, Sioux Falls, wherever you live where you rep the Jacks, has the single slightest clue what the hell took place on that football field here. First, Missouri Valley Conference win of the season for Indiana State, 24-12 the scoreline. I think if you would have told me, hey, midway or almost 3/4 of the way through the season that Indiana State's going to beat South Dakota State 24-12, I would have, assumed people were injured, so there's that, but also I would have laughed at you and tried to get you Baker acted. And the fact that this actually took place just seems like a nightmare for Jackrabbit fans that I know still have not waken up from that nightmare. And now they have a big test on the way, but just kind of unbelievable stuff in face value here, but you better believe it happened.
Abilene Christian 31, number 6, Tarleton State 28. If only somebody would have said that this was going to happen. Who was that somebody, I wonder?
It's Mr. Kevin Marshall. Cha-ching. Listen, you said it in a roundabout way, but Abilene Christian is a top 3 team in the country at least 2 or 3 times a year. I mean, they play real-ass football. It's multiple formations. You see a lot of empty stuff. The quarterback's more than viable. He's a contender, I think, to be top 5, top 10 in the entire country. This was a team that went into this double-digit underdogs, was plus 500 on the money line, and Kevin Marshall just casually in a pick segment, the FCS Nation radio show, just calls it outright in week 10. It just, this is very similar to Indiana State and South Dakota State, just unbelievable stuff. But just take a gander here, and we did touch on why Tarleton State slid, so I don't know. I don't know if this game gives us answers or tells us who these teams are. The following weeks will, but to call this out is kind of ridiculous.
Idaho State, 38. Number 9, UC Davis, 36. You know who else besides Abilene Christian can play with anybody in the country? Idaho State, Stone. I mean, they played with UNLV in the opening weekend of the season. UNLV hasn't turned out to be that good, but that's an 85 scholarship team. And they not only played with number 9 UC Davis, they walked away with a victory.
There are parallels with Idaho State and an Abilene Christian team, right? There are categories in the subdivision of, the benefit of the doubt group, the Titans, the Big Sky, no defense, 50 to 50 score lines. And then there are teams like Idaho State and Abilene Christian who on any given Saturday, FBS, FCS, home dogs, 21-point underdogs that they can beat you. They did that. And Caden Pinnock played in this game. I think we've learned that UC Davis isn't the team that we thought they were a month and a half ago, and that's okay. They're young. They'll still be a problem in postseason football. But nonetheless, Idaho State deserves their flowers every once in a while. They can compete, man.
It's time for us to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll give you the FCS Nation National Offensive and Defensive Players of the Week, brought to you by Northwestern Mutual, and we'll unveil this week's top 25. So much movement, so different. I know you'll want to hang out for that. We'll be right back. You're listening to FCS Nation on the Palmetto Radio Network. Looking to gain a real edge on game day? GameStrat is a #1 choice for in-game video in the FCS and is trusted by championship programs at every level. With instant access to in-game video, lightning-fast uploads, and no internet required, GameStrat helps coaches make real-time adjustments that win football games. It's easy to use, ultra-reliable, and backed by top-rated support. Don't settle for less. Upgrade to GameStrat and keep up with what the top programs in the country are choosing for their in-game video. Visit GameStrat.com to learn more and schedule your demo today. That's GameStrat.com. And we're back. You're listening to FCS Nation on the Palmetto Radio Network. Let's put a bow on last week, y'all. Here are the FCS Nation National Offensive and Defensive Players of the Week, brought to you by Northwestern Mutual. The FCS Nation National Offensive Player of the Week, brought to you by Northwestern Mutual, is Jihad Marks, wide receiver, the Citadel Bulldogs. In last week's victory over the Virginia Military Institute, Marks had 4 catches, 168 yards, and 3 touchdowns to help the Bulldogs claim the coveted Silver Shako Trophy in their victory in the Military Classic of the South over the Virginia Military Institute. The FCS Nation National Defensive Player of the Week, brought to you by Northwestern Mutual, is DeJuan Lewis, defensive back, South Dakota. In last week's victory over North Dakota, Lewis had a key 80-yard scoop and score. It was the first defensive touchdown of the season for South Dakota. And folks, that's his 2nd straight game with the fumble recovery. Congratulations to DeJuan Lewis, defensive back, South Dakota, and Jihad Marks, wide receiver, the Citadel, for being named FCS Nation National Defensive and Offensive Player of the Week, respectively, brought to you by Northwestern Mutual. And I hold in my hand the brand new FCS Nation Top 25 for Week 10. A lot of changes this week. Number 1, the North Dakota State Bison. Number 2, the Montana Grizzlies. Number 3, the Montana State Bobcats. Rising to number 4, Tennessee Tech. And rounding out the top 5, the Monmouth Hawks.
New look top 5, obviously, Kevin. Who deserves the credit for Tennessee Tech's surge. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's a number 4 by their name, and I'm pretty sure they haven't seen that thing, didn't know it even existed. Who do we give the credit to here?
It's got to be the head coach, Bobby Wilder, plus those players that he brought in there. An excellent crop of transfer portal guys came to Tennessee Tech in the offseason, and Bobby Wilder has done what a lot of people who had a very good crop of transfer portal players have not been able to do. He's brought them all together and made them play for the name on the front of that jersey more so than the one on the back. He's done one hell of a job at Tennessee Tech. Number 6, and rising to number 6, Lehigh. Rising to number 7, Harvard. Number 8, the Mercer Bears. Falling to number 9, North Dakota. And rounding out the top 10, the South Dakota State Jackrabbits. Stone, it is really weird to see South Dakota State ranked number 10 in our poll. This is a football team that is kind of on the ropes right now and has a huge ball game this week. They better get their stuff in a pile quickly, or this season is going to have gone completely south on the Jackrabbits, sir.
Yeah, I think 10 is default. It's obviously not where they belong, but it's where they have to be placed, right? We were left with no choice. Obviously, the signal caller out of the mix. All of those things said, get your stuff in a pile. Win football games. Take care of business on the road against a fun and confident Coyote squad right now, but it is very odd seeing double digits next to South Dakota State's name when it comes to any sort of rankings whatsoever.
Number 11, falling to number 11, Tarleton State. Number 12, Villanova. Number 13, UC Davis. Number 14, the Western Carolina Catamounts. And rounding out the top 15, the Southern Illinois Salukis.
Kevin, you look around the country and Tarleton State, a lot of places not getting the slide down that we gave them at number 11. Kind of talk to, first of all, why that is that you think people kept them up there and why it is that we have them at outside the top 10, number 11.
Well, I can't speak for others, Stone. I can only say that for me, if you lose a game like they did to Abilene Christian, you've got to fall. If you're Tarleton State and you're not in one of the bigger, better conferences in FCS football, you've got to win conference games. And they lost that football game, and they had to be penalized for it. Look, there's the benefit of the doubt club that some other teams in FCS have, right, and they're a part of because of things they've done in the past. We know kind of what to expect from them. Tarleton State is not in that club. They do not get the benefit of the doubt. Just like Tennessee Tech, just like Monmouth, just like Lehigh, just like Harvard, just like Mercer. So you got to prove it. And last week, was it a hiccup? Or is this who Tarleton State's going to be going forward? It's going to be very interesting to find out. Number 16, Youngstown State. Number 17, Stephen F. Austin. Number 18, Illinois State. Number 19 is Southeastern Louisiana. And rounding out the top 20, the Rhode Island Rams. Number 21 and back in the poll is Abilene Christian. Number 22 and back in the poll, South Dakota. Falling to number 23, Jackson State. And entering the poll for the first time this season at number 24, Alabama State. And dropping to number 25, the Lamar Cardinals. It's time for us to take a break. When we come back, it'll be time for us to take a trip and preview all the biggest games taking place in FCS football this week. We'll be right back. You're listening to FCS Nation on the Palmetto Radio Network.
Hi there, this is Flash from Bikers Against Bullies USA, and we are a not-for-profit group created by bikers, but not limited to bikers. We are committed to creating awareness and educating both kids and adults on the benefits of living in a society of respect for each other combined with self-empowerment. Bikers Against Bullies USA was started in Missoula, Montana. The very real fact is that kids are kids, and they're dying by their own hands each week due to the insidious nature of the psychological and emotional trauma created by today's bullying attempts. Our personal philosophy is that one dead child is one too many. I personally ask you to stand up, support us, and by doing so, you're making a difference. We cannot change things without you, your support, and I thank you in advance. You can get a hold of us at BikersAgainstBulliesUSA.com or Facebook, Bikers Against Bullies USA.
Power Company, how can I help you?
I'd like to make a complaint about my bills.
Oh, do you think they're too high?
No, they're too dang low.
Oh,
There's no way this can be right. Because I was warm and toasty all winter and cool as a cucumber all summer, and I keep getting these dang low bills.
Well,
I'm willing to pay what I owe. Just send me the new bill.
Ma'am, by any chance, did you put in new windows from Renewal by Andersen?
Well, how the heck did you know that?
Because we get a lot of calls like this.
Oh, they sent out a very nice crew to personally install them. They fit perfect. My house is tighter than a tick's behind.
Well, your heating and cooling bills should be lower with Renewal by Andersen.
I see out a lot better, too.
Oh, that must be nice.
Not really.